Welcome to the No Name Music Cast. To follow us on Instagram, go to No Name Music Cast Podcast. To send us an email, it's nonamemusiccast@gmail.com. And to visit our website, go to nonamemusiccast.com. Now, on with the show. Hello and welcome, everybody. Welcome to the No Name Music Cast. My name's Tim, and this is
Joy.
And here I am sitting here recording the No Name Music Cast. As you know, there is a visual element to this podcast. We post little clips on Instagram here and there. So I've moved this room around because Hannah wanted a desk in this room, so we've moved the whole thing around. And I was not sufficiently lit, so I had to get a ring light, which I've used for various YouTube endeavors. So I'm now lit as Joy expects me to be.
I'm glad that you clarified this is about a ring light because certain people might find lit to mean something else.
Absolutely. Illuminated maybe was a better word.
There you go. All right, he found it. Okay, so I'm going to start it off a little bit. First of all, we just need to put this out there. If anybody's listening, Tim asked me, are you ready to record after I did my weekly rant about everything that's bothering me in the world? Mm-hmm. So you can imagine Tim's hair is probably gray after he speaks to me for too long. But I said, okie dokie, artichokey, and I saw the little face that he made. I was like, you've never heard that before. And then he said back to me, no, I've heard okie dokie Annie Oakley, which is terrible.
Yeah, I've heard that said, but never artichokey.
Like an artichoke. Okay, well, I have a lot. If you are listening and you've heard either of these things, we want to hear from you. What's that email, Tim? I need an official vote. nonamemusiccast@gmail. Artichokey or Annie Oakley. Artichokey, I don't know. Maybe I made that up. I can't confirm or deny if it's an actual saying. Maybe I've just been saying it my entire life.
Yeah, if you want to pitch in with that, it's nonamemusiccast@gmail.com.
I really want, if you are listening, please take 5 minutes and tell me if you've heard either of these things or if you've never heard any of these things, and me and Tim are both crazy. But I literally said okie dokie artichokey, and I saw his little face, and he was like, what? That makes me wonder, though, if we need a segment where I give him phrases, and we'll see if he knows them, or if he has some British equivalent that he grew up on. Like, you know, the hokey pokey, a.k.a. what would you say, Tim?
The hokey cokey?
Which sounds like you do drugs. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That's what I say hokey pokey and you say hokey cokey. That sounds like you do drugs.
But knees bend, arms stretch, rah, rah, rah.
What are you?
You put your left leg in, your leg left out, in, out, in, out. You shake it all about. You do the hokey cokey and you turn around. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, what was the beginning part? They never heard that entirely in my entire life.
I can't remember what I said now.
Something about rah, rah, rah.
Knees bend, arms stretch, rah, rah, rah.
Is that part of the hokey cokey?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we don't do that. We just put your left hand in, you put your left hand out, you put your left hand in, you shake it all around.
In, out, you shake it all about. Do the hokey cokey and you turn around. Knees bend, arms stretch, rah, rah, rah.
Y'all got extra parts.
Well, as we all know, the definitive version of the Hokey Cokey is by the Snowmen, and I would probably look that up. And there is a rumor that it's Ian Jury doing the singing on it.
The Snowman singing the Hokey Cokey confirms a little bit of my drug theory earlier, but we're going to leave that alone because this is a PG podcast. You guys have extra parts of the hokey pokey. Ours is literally just you put your left hand in, you put your left hand out, you put your left hand in, and you shake it all about. You do the hokey pokey and you surf yourself around. That's what it's all about. Oh, that's our version. We say that's what it's all about.
Yeah, we do that too, but it's also knees bend, arm stretch, rah, rah, rah.
Do you bend your knees and stretch your arms when you do that part?
I've never officially danced the hokey cokey. I've only seen the interpretive dance of the Snowmen.
This is going to be a wild episode. Oh, what was the one we also talked about? The chicken. What is that one?
The chicken song.
Chicken dance. How does it go?
The chicken song.
Oh, God, no, I can't think of it. We're both sitting here. What is it? Oh crap! Hold on, I gotta look
It's
this
by
up
the
now.
Tweets. The chicken song is by the Tweets. It was a #1 single.
Our slicking nursery rhyme. I can't. Did Tim just say the chicken song is like by the Tweets?
Yeah.
This can't be real life.
Maybe you're thinking of the other one by Spitting Image.
No, I was thinking. I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck.
Oh.
No, we're thinking of very
Throw
different
a
things.
chicken in the air, stick a deck chair up your nose. That one. No.
Okay.
And then there's the instrumental one by the Tweets, which is the chicken
What?
song.
I was just thinking of. Do you guys not have the little chicken dance where you're like, I don't want to be a chicken. I don't want to be a duck. That doesn't ring a bell.
I think it's similar, but ours was an instrumental version. You was allowed to interpret the dance any way you wish. It was a staple of Butlins if you went in the 90s.
Okay, okay. We gotta get back on track. We're not even at the topic, y'all. All right, I learned so much. I'm just like Tim said that by the tweets, and I was like, is he being serious? That sounds like fake news.
No, the chicken song is by Spitting Image. The other chicken song is by the Tweets.
All right. Well, because I've already taken up 40% of the podcast by just the weird conversation we'll have. I just have one question for Tim before he takes it over. I don't have any music news tonight. I just want to see what he answers for this question.
Okay.
If you were going to pick one singer, I will say it's a female singer who has had a #1 Billboard hit in each of the last 4 decades, who would you pick?
Probably Cher.
It was Mariah Carey.
Oh, okay. I mean, similar. I mean, Cher equally has a cavalcade
for sure.
of hits.
Oh, I 100% agree. So, with that being said, I will and then I will say, this is one person we've talked. I'll give you one more little fun thing, and then I'll let you take over. What was Madonna's first top 10 hit?
Borderline, maybe?
Holiday, same album.
Yeah,
Makes sense
yeah.
that you would think that. All right, Tim, take it from here. This is not a podcast about chicken or ducks or the hokey pokey, or I'm not convinced that the hokey cokey sounds like you're not doing drugs. But anyway.
Okay, well, let's move on to some music news. So I have a couple of pieces of music news for you. First things first, AC/DC guitarist Stevie Young has been hospitalized after a recent concert. Now, as many people know, he is the nephew of Malcolm Young, who we sadly lost a number of years ago. Malcolm Young was the heart and soul of AC/DC. The rhythm guitarist, he wrote all the songs. He was pretty much the whole band. I mean, his brother Angus gets all the credit, but really it was Malcolm's band. But, you know, we sadly lost him a number of years ago, and his nephew Stevie Young took over. Now, the thing is, Stevie Young is 69 years old. He's not exactly to use a chicken reference, a spring chicken. But they're on a big stadium tour currently in South America. So they were in Buenos Aires. And after the concert, he went to a local hospital where he went through a battery of tests, they say. And apparently he's doing well, is in good spirits, and he's looking forward to getting on stage on Monday, which is, a few days after he went to hospital. It's tough when you're older like that and have a very vigorous touring schedule, and you're traveling all the time.
What did you say it was that caused it? Did you say COVID?
No, it didn't actually say. It just said he was just wasn't feeling good, and he went to hospital for a number of tests.
Well, I would rather him go in and get checked out because, better safe than sorry. As an AC/DC lover and aficionado, I would agree with Tim's analysis that Malcolm was the heart and soul of that, whether anyone was into it. The flamboyant brother that everybody gave attention to, right, Tim?
Yeah.
Is what everybody looks at, but that doesn't mean they're the soul.
I mean, I'm of the opinion the current touring AC/DC band is a cover band. It's Brian Johnson and Angus Young and a bunch of people that were never really in AC/DC.
I mean, but it's not like they're the only band doing it. Me and Tim talked about this at nauseum, and at least they got 2 members that are kind of original Tim. So if I pay money to go see them, I feel like I'm getting something out of it. It's not to insult anybody else who's touring with them. They're not bad musicians, but it's kind of like when I bought my parents Beach Boys tickets, and I'm like, well, you got one.
Yeah, you got Mike Young, who I think is actually going to retire soon, so there's no original Beach Boys in it.
Yeah, and they'll probably still keep touring because the Beach Boys name sells, right, Tim? We've talked about like Casey and the Sunshine Band, the same member. What they went through 3,700 members at this point. The Temptations, and just an interesting thing. You can take that name and run with it, but For me, I guess what I'm hearing, Tim, is if I want to see at least two of the AC/DC members, I need to go see them now.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen AC/DC. I've seen AC/DC with Malcolm, and I think Phil Rudd was the drummer at Wembley in the early 2000s, and it was absolutely amazing. And I feel if I stood in a massive stadium and watched what is effectively now a cover band, I'd be disappointed with that.
I would. Yeah. And there's a weird set of like cover bands who are specifically AC/DC cover bands. Have you seen that like phenomenon, Tim?
Yeah, in fact, I supported one of them. They're the all-female AC/DC band,
I mean,
Shoot to
that would be the
Thrill.
one to support.
Yeah, I saw them at Dr. Pepper Park, and they were fabulous. But seeing them backstage, well, I saw them in the sound check, and they looked like somebody's mother in a rock band. And then backstage, I was meeting them, and they were just so nice and motherly. And they say, "Oh, what's your name?" "Oh, Tim, that's a lovely name. I'm Marion. Lovely to meet you. What do you do?" "Oh, you play guitar. Oh, that's lovely. You should meet Alison. She plays guitar as well." And then, like, you see them in full makeup and gear doing their show, and it was, they were very different.
Well, Papa's got her new bag on. But anyway, with that being said, that was a joke, guys, because like she got her new bag on. I find that adorable, though, to be honest with you, Tim, because it's just funny when you see things like that, because you forget that people have, multiple personalities in that sense. They have their stage persona and who they are as a person, and that's really cute. I've heard of them before, but there is like a subset genre of like people who have really big AC/DC tribute bands, and that's all they do. I mean, it's not dissimilar to like, Deep Purple has it, Billy Joel has it. It's just interesting. I feel like that happens a lot in Southwest Virginia with AC/DC, though.
Absolutely. A very important band woven into the culture of this area. And in fact, the United States in total.
Which is so weird because we've talked about it. I find it very interesting for me because, I'm not even that big of like a rock, like an early, like, you know what I mean, Tim? It's not like I'm listening to Guns N' Roses every day or anything. But AC/DC is one of those bands that is very important to me. It was like I said, the first CD I ever owned, the first album I ever owned. I owned every single album they had for like, that was like my prime collection for a long time. And I'm not that kind of person. If you'd meet me right, Tim, on the street, you probably wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't think that. But it's very engraved in Southwest Virginia. So there you go. We have talked a lot about not the topic. Tim, what do you want to move on to?
Okay, I have one more piece of music news.
Okay.
So Billy Idol, he's announced the Hot in the City Summer 2026 Las Vegas residency. He's going to be playing the Blue Live Theater inside the Fontainebleau Resort in Las Vegas. He's obviously going to be with Steve Stevens, who's been his guitar player for a number of years. And they're doing half a dozen gigs there or something like that. But, it's good to see Billy Idol is still out there getting it done. As we all know, Billy Idol likes Nevada because he's incredibly obsessed with the Hoover Dam.
It's true. We've talked about that. He's got to be in his 70s, right?
I think he is. I mean, the press release
No
says
offense,
that.
I hate to say that, but I'm just saying he's so go on, get your Vegas residency. It's about time,
Yeah, it says here in the press release, for almost 50 years, Billy Idol has been one of the definitive faces and voices of rock and roll, integrating dance music with the bold and simple lines of punk and rock and roll and decadence on songs such as Dancing with Myself, White Wedding, Rebel Yell, Eyes Without a Face, Cradle of Love, and more. Touring consistently around the world and showing no signs of slowing down, he released the album Dream Into It on Dark Horse Records in 2025, earning praise from fans and critics alike.
I will say, if you're interested in just finding a very fun, and Tim has talked about this. Tim did not know this, so I introduced him to the fact that Miley Cyrus has a wonderful rock voice. Her concert where she did a whole thing with Billy Idol was amazing.
Oh, 100%.
It was so good.
I'm still of the opinion that Miley Cyrus should front the Queen band with Brian May. I think she would bring a rock and roll swagger to the band, and she could hit all the notes.
Yep, and that's what you need. And I love the person that's singing for them now can hit all the notes, but he's very Broadway. He's not very rock and roll.
It's a Broadway voice. He's got the range. He's got the power. He's got the showmanship. But it is Broadway. It's a Broadway.
It's missing that rock element.
It doesn't have the swagger. I just think if Miley Cyrus did it, it would have the swagger about it.
And if you're judging Tim for that statement, you need to go on YouTube, because Tim would have judged me for that statement before I went and made him watch videos, right, Tim?
Oh, 100%.
And then when you watched it, you were like, my God, I've missed this my entire life.
Yeah, because I'm used to going party in the USA and stuff like that.
Which is still a good song too.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not, but I mean,
I know
that is a pop song, pop voice. when I found her doing rock covers on YouTube, that's a very different proposition.
And she's so good at it too. And like Tim said, she sells it on stage. It's not over the top. It's just the right amount of swagger you want from a good rock artist. So if you haven't done it, the other person that if you have never listened to her covers, there is one person in the world. Tim jokes about, he thinks there's only one person in the world who deserves a Grammy. Well, there's one person in the world that if she does a cover of your song, you're done. You're baked for. No one will ever want to hear it. It's Kelly Clarkson, Tim. And I don't know if you've been down that rodeo with her, like, covers. She can cover anyone and everything. It's almost to the point, it's like that more of a singer. She's like someone who could do like accents or something. I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you have not went down the rodeo that is Kelly Clarkson covering any song, it's too good. There's not one song I have not heard her done, Tim, that she was almost better than the original at everything.
Yeah, I mean, I saw her on some Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. I think she was singing with Foreigner or something like that. And not only could she hit all the notes, but she was really good on stage. She knew how to harmonize. She knew when to sing, and she knew when not to sing. And that was something a lot of the other pop artists on that particular award ceremony did not understand.
She can sell, and that's what I'm saying. When it comes to like doing, like, there's like a known thing, there's like a joke, there's like an ongoing joke in the music world, Tim. If Kelly Clarkson does a cover of your song, you can never sing it again.
Yep.
Anyway, so back to our episode. I think there's a topic now that we talked for 20 minutes, not about the topic.
Yes, absolutely. So we recently here had St. Patrick's Day. And as we all know, lots of people enjoy having a great time on St. Patrick's Day. In fact, I understand that Joy may have had half a pint of lemonade shandy on St. Patrick's Day.
I didn't know that was a topic when I was telling him about my Wednesday after St. Patrick's Day. That's hilarious. Tim never let on either. Good job, Tim. Good job.
Yeah, you may have had a Diet Cola and a.
I'm old now. I can't hang. Let's just start there. I learned my lesson. I'm too old to do the things I did in my early 20s. All right. So what about St. Patrick's Day, Tim?
Okay. So often on St. Patrick's Day, people wear things green. Green clothing, green socks, green, you name it. Sometimes if people were going out on a mighty pub crawl, they might even paint their face green or something like that, wear a green hat. So this week's episode, I'm entitling Going Green. So these are songs that have green in the title, artists that have green in their name, or there may be some green adjacency, maybe the album cover or something like that.
All right. Before we get into it, though, Tim, I do have to ask you a St. Patrick's Day comment.
Mm-hmm.
So Tim's last name is O'Sullivan. So, I think, or Scottish or Irish, Tim. I don't know where you're
Irish. Timothy Michael O'Sullivan.
That's what I thought. I thought he was, but let me confirm before I go any further. So that makes Tim like sort of official on these things. Is your dad, right? From your dad's side?
No, my granddad was from Wales, but his family was from Ireland.
That's what it was. Okay. So Tim's basically like 7 times removed Irish or something. What do you think? I've heard people say this, that Americans take St. Patrick's Day way more seriously than anybody does.
100%, far more than in England. And I don't know, maybe it's about the Irish themselves, but yes, it is very much, especially like New York Irish people. It's
or
like
Chicago or Boston.
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
Well, Chicago they turn that whole river green every year.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, there is a very high population of immigrants that are from Boston, Chicago, and New York. It's not like it's completely coming out of nowhere, right, Tim? No. But that's like a lot removed at this point.
Yes.
But I just thought it was funny because I've heard that from like there's like there's a couple that I watched. The wife is American, the husband was British. They're divorced now, but they had a very funny ongoing thing, and they would do it. I would send it to Tim every year, and he's like, my dad's from Ireland. I don't care about that. What are you talking about? And she was like, my great great grandfather is from Ireland, twice removed, so I have to go out in full Irish gear. And so do you remember me sending you those videos? Tips? I always think of you because O'Sullivan. I assumed it was Irish, but, I could have been wrong.
No, you are completely correct. As I said, my granddad was from Wales and his people were from Kerry in Ireland.
Well, I'm glad I was correct about that. And you have confirmed my initial thought that Americans take St. Patrick's Day way more serious than anybody else. But I feel like that's an American thing. Do you feel like we just take holidays more seriously in general? I feel that's true.
I think so. I mean, a lot of it comes down to the crass commercialization of holidays and the
Yes.
and stuff that's for sale and people wanting to buy it. But yes, generally, I think we take the holidays far more seriously than anywhere else.
I've heard that whole Halloween is a big one too. That is very much more of an American phenomenon.
Oh, it's now a thing in England, but it wasn't when I was growing up. But yes, it's always been a thing
Did you
here.
trick or treat?
No.
Interesting. All right. Well, so we're going green. Well, what does that mean as far as the topic?
Okay, so as I said, the songs will either have green in the title, the artists will have green in them, or there may be some green adjacency, or there might be a green album cover. Could be any of those criteria.
So basically, anything Tim wanted to put in this episode is going to fit in there, is what I hear.
Yeah, I had to shoehorn them all in.
All right. Well, let's get started.
Well, you couldn't have a green episode without this one. This is maybe the green song that everybody thinks about. And this gentleman is from Wales too, where my granddad was from. And this is the green, green grass of home.
Which we've talked about on this episode quite a bit. You know, I'm not even sure I recognize this song until you pointed it out to me. Like, I know Tom Jones, I know it now, but like I never like really associated it with Tom Jones until you pointed it out to me it was Tom Jones. Does that make sense, Tim? Like until you made that analogy, because you know we're talking a song from the 60s. I've heard it in passing. I don't even know what genre you would call it.
No, it's sort of 60s well, not crooner, maybe. Yeah, maybe crooner pop from the 60s. But I mean, Tom Jones is a legend. And we did that whole episode about Unknown in the USA. And I mean, Tom Jones had a career in the United States and even had his own TV show, but he's certainly much more of a household name in England than he is here.
Well, and it makes sense though, because when you hear Tom Jones' voice, it's very distinct, it's very intense, it's very in your face. And he's kind of like, you know, perplexing in his own way. I just don't know why. In all seriousness, in America, we think of it's not unusual. It's probably the first one that comes to mind. Delilah, What's New Pussycat? She's a lady. And then Green Green Grass is there. Like I knew it was a song, but I hadn't really like associated necessarily with Tom Jones. And I told Tim I came into the revelation that he was big because I was watching The Voice in the UK, or I don't know if it was the England version, if it was the UK, you know, don't come for me, internet. We Americans are dumb. We don't know how this works. I call you Europe. I call you the UK. Something's happening there. But Tim will tell you I'm doing my best by American standards. So whatever country you're in, he was on one of those voices. And they were acting like he was this like godsend to the world. And I'm sitting there thinking, is that you're not unusual guy? Like that's literally all I thought he was.
No, I mean he is. He is a legendary figure. He absolutely is.
And I don't know why. I have no idea why it didn't transcend, because it's not like when I listen to his music now, I can hear why he would be super popular. Great. But bolsterous voice, like crooner, like everything you'd kind of want. Just never translated here.
Yeah, I would highly recommend from Tom Jones. There's an album called Live at the Flamingo, which is on all your popular streaming services, him live in the 60s with his band. It is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that is like peak Tom Jones.
So what's interesting is because we were talking about him, I Googled it because I was curious. Jones has had 36 top 40 hits in the UK, 22 in Canada, but still only 19 in the United States.
Yeah. And
19 versus 36.
And the bulk of those were probably in the 60s and 70s.
Yep. And it says, it literally quotes, it's not unusual, What's New Pussycat, Delilah. I didn't say Delilah. Or Green Green Grass of Home, She's a Lady, Kiss, and Sex Bomb. That's what he's known for here. I mean, that really is the songs. If you asked me before we did the podcast, who was Tom Jones? My first brain would go to, it's not unusual. That would be what I would think. And the reason I would instantly go to that is because of the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, where he sings it. Like that, it's so not even related to Tom Jones. I don't know how to explain it. It just didn't. Kind of like weirdly enough, how many bands that are originally from the UK that are more popular in America? I don't know.
I mean, these are things that we've covered on this podcast many, many times.
Ad nauseum, and they're probably going, we get it. All right, let's move to the next song, Tim.
Okay, so I'm going with a cover version for this one. I'm not going with the original. This is Judas Priest and the Green Manalishi.
I've heard this song. So Judas Priest is not something we've talked about that much on the podcast, though. Tim, I think, listens to them a lot more than I have. And I know this because when I was in his office back in the day when we worked together, I would hear Judas Priest on your playlist quite a bit more than probably I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah, occasionally. I mean, I'm still ingesting the contents of my iTunes library into Spotify, so I tend to make my week's worth of listening based off of that. So probably I got up to the letter J or something when he was in my office.
It's true. For some reason, I came to your office 3 different times and Judas Priest was played. For those who don't know, this is a cover of the Fleetwood Mac song.
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
in case anyone was wondering what Tim was going for that. Why do you prefer their cover?
I think it's good. I mean, they performed it at Live Aid as well.
Oh yeah, they did. I hadn't really thought about that. I mean, I think I've heard both versions. I don't really have a particular like of either of them. I think they bring their own thing. Now, this is from the album that like the 70s album everybody knows from them though, I think. Like that was right at the height of their career from what I know. What's interesting though is Judas Priest, speaking of artists that transcended and didn't transcend, because
They're from Birmingham. That's where all the heavy metal in the UK comes from. Is Birmingham?
Yeah, so they're from the same thing of
Brummies.
Aussie, right?
Yeah,
And so, I mean, I don't know. Would you think they're more popular here or more popular in the UK?
I would say probably more popular here. I mean, they were
Interesting.
part of what's called the new wave of British heavy metal. And
Yeah.
Def Leppard came in with that, Iron Maiden came in with that. And I think Judas Priest really did sort of strike a chord in the United States.
Interesting. That's kind of what I wondered. It's so weird for me because there's another band they were talking about. It's frequently known as like the metal band of all time, the start of metal. And then you got people who controversially try to fight it, though Tim would tell them to just shut up, it's true. As he said on this podcast before. But, they kind of developed that whole new wave British heavy metal movement, I would say.
Yeah, they were right there.
I will say I am not someone who listens to them often. I've heard the song and I've heard the original from Fleetwood Mac probably more than this song. The other question is the current touring lineup the same? I feel like they're one of those bands that like has like a lot more lineups, or unless I'm crazy.
No, I think it's Glenn Tipton is not in it anymore. I mean, the singer is the same.
I never really know. You've never seen them live, have you, Tim?
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's not something I would particularly seek out, but I mean, I don't dislike it. But
You
but
must
as
have
I
really
said,
been in Jay's then when I was in your office that week because I walked in 3 different times and they were playing.
yeah, I mean, Rob Halford is a legend.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be something if they were even if they're playing locally. Maybe I would if they were playing super locally, but it's
If
not
it was
something.
only like $5, I might go.
It's highly unlikely at this point.
I just don't think that the audience would be an audience I want to be with.
They just at this point it'd just be old geezers in the audience. I think you'd be absolutely fine. They probably just want to look after you. It's just old men.
That's true. You're probably right. All right. Well, moving along. What's next in our green episode?
Okay, so this is one slightly out of the box. I'm assuming you know this song. This is a
Okay.
song that I have cursory knowledge of, but it came up in my various research for this episode.
Okay.
This is Jason Aldean and the song "Big Green Tractor."
Unfortunately, I do know what that is. Hannah probably won't let you listen to that in any way.
No, I was not allowed to preview this song in my house.
So you ever heard it out loud?
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah, 100%. I mean, I'm more familiar with the song Hicktown because I've
Oh,
played the
God.
song Hicktown in bands. And when I first got here in 2011, I heard that song being played in some clubs that I was playing music at, and I asked what it was, and it was Jason Aldean. So it always has like even though the music of Jason Aldean is not something I'm particularly going to seek out, that song Hicktown was like an arrival song for me, if you will.
If anybody didn't know, I was literally singing that. Na, 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 na. That's literally the song. My big green tractor. I'll take you for a ride on my big. That's literally. We gotta go to town, but baby, if you'd rather, I'd take you for a ride on my breaker. That's actually it, Tim.
Yeah, he's like a. How's the way I can look at it? I mean, I don't know whether he writes his own songs. I mean, that I don't know.
I have no clue. Wouldn't know
No.
that in my life depended on it.
Well, actually, let's have a look. Who wrote this? Where are we? Credits. No, he did not write that song. But he's almost like a storyteller of the people, if you will, because his lyrics are appealing to a subset of people who live in
I'm
rural
not those
communities.
people.
No, and me neither. But like the lyrics of the song Hicktown, Big Trick, Big Green Tractor, Dirt Road Anthem, that stuff is appealing to the life experiences of people who live in rural America, which is probably
Sure.
why he's popular as he is, because the people who can identify with those lyrics. It's not anything that I identify with at all, but I can see the appeal.
Yeah. I can see the appeal. But yes, Tim, I am familiar with this song. I can't tell you the last time I've heard it. Now, speaking of things that appeal to people in Southwest Virginia, I'll give you a funny little reference here. Something came up at work, and one of my team, so I am obviously the manager in my office, for those who don't know. So when I say my team, I literally mean my team. One of my team members made a joke, and she said, "What were you doing? The watermelon crawl."
Mm-hmm.
And the other person, the two other people didn't know what it was.
I'm
And I was like, I'm familiar.
yeah,
Go ahead, Tim.
I'm
Sorry.
familiar with it because of playing gigs and stuff, and then it comes up, and you play it on the break music and things. But if I didn't perform in Southwest Virginia Moose Lodges, I would not know about the watermelon crawl.
So we had to explain to a Gen Z, and then somebody who was a little bit older who just didn't know what it was, explain what and I was like, literally, I was out in Georgia in late July. It's, a day hot enough to make a grown man cry. And it's literally about a festival in Georgia where they spike the watermelon, and if you drink, don't drive, do the watermelon crawl. Like, that's literally the song. It sounds ridiculous, though, when you have to explain it to someone who's never heard it, Tim.
Yep.
And then I was like, who sings that? Who sings that? Who sings that? And I was like, I said, Tracy, 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 Tracy. I was like going back and forth in my brain. I couldn't think of it. I ran out 5 minutes later and said Tracy Bird because it came to me. I think I said Trace Atkins. I was like, that's not right. It's not his voice, right? Like,
No.
it's not George Strait. I was like, it's Tracy Bird. But I couldn't, he didn't have that many songs. He had a few songs. And he wore the black hat like George Strait was known for wearing his black hat. So that's why my brain went there. Anyway, I digress. So it was funny because that led into a conversation about, well, how do you know so much about music? I'm like, well, it's kind of my thing. I run a music podcast. So now my Gen Z staff and a few other members have taken it upon themselves to run into my office periodically and say, we found a song you might not know. And it's worked one time, Tim. I've known every other song.
Well, I would like to formally welcome Joy's staff to this podcast if they're listening. Joy knows a lot, let me tell you.
It's just funny because that's what they were like, how did you? And I was like, it's going to be hard. I said, unless the one that people do to me, Tim, when I say that is they'll find some weird, obscure band that nobody knows and be like, do you know this band? I'm like, no. Mm-hmm. I'm being realistic with what I would know, but it's hard for you to find something from like the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and even for me, the early 2000s that I would know. Modern day music, you'll probably find something I don't know. But with that being said, it's just funny because that's now the ongoing thing. What was it, the Gen Z? Have you ever heard that? There's a song where we were trying to get something to work and it gave us a black screen and one of my staff said black screen. I went black dress with the tights underneath. And she was like, how do you know that song? And I was like, I grew up with that song. So anyway, so that's an ongoing joke in my office, Tim, that I knew that Jason, well, I know Jason Aldean, but I also know Tracy Bird did the watermelon crawl. And don't ever try to explain to someone who doesn't know what that song is what it is because it sounds ridiculous.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get back on track. I distracted for 20 minutes.
Okay. So the next song I have is Gnarls Barkley and the song Crazy. And the Green connection is the singer is CeeLo Green.
So CeeLo Green is an interesting person. I loved a few of CeeLo Green's songs. He did get in some legal trouble, which we don't have to get into. But my dad is so funny because he kind of hated him. He was on, I think it was The Voice, one of those shows, Tim. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, CeeLo Green would get on my dad's nerves on the show. Dad was only half watching. And then the song, there was a radio version that wasn't FU, but that was the original song. You see, you're driving around town. That one was in the car. And my dad is always so funny. He let it play and he was singing along and having fun in the car. And he was like enjoying the music because both my parents are music. And dad tends to be very animated and funny. And he was just singing it. And I looked at him and went, you know, that's CeeLo Green. He went, Man, I thought I was a woman. After we had been giving him so much, because he knew who CeeLo Green was, because he used to complain about it on the show Mom watched every evening. He was like, "Oh, I thought I was a woman." Anyway, that's what I think of when I think of CeeLo Green now. I mean, the Gnarls Barkley thing is a very interesting whole incantation of CeeLo Green.
Yeah, I mean, this song "Crazy" is a song that I've played many, many times. I was in a band called Dirty Rumors with a friend of mine called Kirk Farmer, and he covered this song. And it used to go on for ages. All those songs in Dirty Rumors for 15 plus minutes long. But this is an interesting song to play, and Kirk used to do such a good version of this, and we used to have so much fun playing it. And in fact, I only actually heard the Dirty Rumors version just the other day, in fact.
I mean, I love this song. It's a great song. For those who don't know, Gnarls Barkley is CeeLo Green with that producer, Dangermouse. I think that's his name.
I wonder if Penfold is involved.
I have no idea. What does that mean? Am I supposed to know what that means?
Have you never seen the cartoon Dangermouse? His sidekick
Yeah,
is Penfold.
Okay. Didn't get that reference, but I know what you're talking about now.
Dangermouse. No.
I do know. I've seen the Dangermouse cartoon, but I wouldn't be able to recognize his sidekick, Tim.
I mean, Dangermouse was a staple. It was on children's ITV. I mean, how could you not know about Dangermouse?
You do know that we had different TV channels. Not sure that you figured that. I've seen the Dangermouse cartoon, though. I've seen him like physically, little cartoons of him.
And we also had Banana Man. Do you remember Banana Man?
No.
Eric Wimp. And like he would live, I think he was on 20. He lives on 22 Acacia Avenue, and then he eats a banana, and then he turns into Banana Man, and then he saves the world or something.
Do you know what we had? We had bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. Bananas in pajamas are scared of teddy bears.
Yeah, I remember that. Na 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 na. But yeah, Banana Man, and also Super Ted. Do you remember Super Ted?
No.
He was like a teddy bear that then became a superhero.
I would assume that a Super Ted would be a teddy bear or a very white man. Could go either way, really.
How about Chorlton and the Wheelies?
No. I feel like you're not speaking English anymore.
Chorlton was a happiness dragon who somehow found his way into Wheelie World, which is all these people who lived in Wheelie World who had wheels. And their nemesis was Fenella the Kettle Witch.
You know, you could really gaslight me, Tim, and say all this stuff and none of it would be true and I wouldn't know.
Fenella the Kettle Witch used to cast spells on Wheelie World. However, they never applied to Chorlton, who was the happiness dragon. And he used to go, "Hey up, little old lady."
I just realized though, Tim, if you really wanted to mess with me, you could just start naming stuff on here because everything that you name sounds so ridiculous, I would believe it. And then I go talk to people who are actually in the UK and they'd be like, "That girl is mentally ill. There was no Dangermouse. What is she talking about?"
Well, I mean, you'd probably have to be of a certain age to know Chorlton and the Wheelies at this point. Maybe I do own the DVD set of all the episodes of Chorlton and the Wheelies.
That's adorable. I mean, I'm trying to think of my ridiculous. I mean, I'm trying to think ones Tim might not know or know. I mean, he did know bananas and pajamas. I'll give him that. That was pretty good. Let's see.
I'm familiar with
Big Bear in the Blue House.
No, but I do know Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. That's I hope everybody got that. Do you know Arthur?
What, with Dudley Moore? The film with Dudley Moore?
No, the cartoon. He was an aardvark.
No.
Tim has gotten an education on Elmo's Rocco. Have you not, Tim? I've been sending you all the things. You now learned this was a long stewing thing you never knew about.
Absolutely. You know, I was not aware of this lore.
And now every time I see an Elmo Rocco video, I send it to Tim. Tim's like, "Oh my gosh, this goes deep." Who knew? All right. Well, with that being said, Tim, back to our next green song.
Okay, so I'm going to go with a green album cover.
Okay.
And this would be Styx, and the song is The Grand Illusion.
Was the album cover green? I don't remember. What was the album?
The Grand Illusion.
Oh.
And the song is The Grand Illusion.
I wasn't sure if it was like named after itself or whatever. You know what I mean? I wasn't sure. I wanted to know. All right, I'm going to look up this album cover now because I want to confirm if it is in fact green. Grand Illusion. Like Tim would lie about it. Why would it matter? I have no clue. It is green.
See?
And it is an illusion on the, it's like two faces, some lips, kind of like deers. Are you looking at the album cover, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, in the realm of a list that I'd make for this podcast, Joy, I have no reason to tell you a fib.
No, I was just curious what the album cover looked like now because you said it was a grand illusion. And I was like, well, they better have an illusion on the album cover. And they did. It was kind of a cool one. Styx is such an interesting band. I've heard this song before. I mean, they're predominantly known for 2 songs in America, but I don't know how they did overseas. I don't know if they're super popular.
UK, absolutely zero. I'd never heard of them before I moved here.
So no more Mr. Roboto or anything?
Oh, arigato, Mr. Roboto. No.
Do you think they would know it now?
Unlikely.
Really? No Renegade? Lady?
No. Blue Collar Man. No, I just don't. It's not really a band that had UK crossover appeal, I don't believe.
I kind of thought at least universally Mr. Roboto would have hit somewhere.
No,
It's got that synthesizer, the fun.
Yeah, never heard of Styx before I moved here.
Interesting. Have you ever played any Styx music?
No, but it's great music. Tommy Shaw is a great singer and an even better guitar player.
So if you're in the UK and you want to go find out a new band you should be listening to, go listen to Styx. You can start with the cliches, like me and Tim were just saying. Mr. Roboto is a classic. I don't know anybody who hates that song. Renegade's a great classic.
Yeah, the Grand Illusion album, Paradise Theatre album. I mean, it's all good stuff.
Yeah. It's quite interesting, though. I hadn't really thought about them because I think they're an American band, though. I don't know where they're from, but they're definitely, I don't think they're from the UK.
No, they are a US band 100%.
Anyway, so, but it's just kind of funny to me because, like, they're kind of a staple, I feel like, here, though. Like, there's a whole cult classic of people who love Styx in America. Mm-hmm. Same people who love Rush. Like, I feel like the parallels, if there's 2 parallels, Tim, of people who like music, there's, like, some type of, like, graph where it overlaps between liking Rush, Styx, and probably ELO.
Yeah, I mean... Rush are a little more proggy than Styx.
I don't know why, though. I just feel like they stand together. You know what I mean? The same people who like Rush tend to kind of like Styx and then maybe like an Electric Light Orchestra. Like, I feel like that's a circumdicular. Is that a word? Circumdicular?
Circumdicular.
I feel like that's not a circular connection.
Circumdicular. That should be a new bumper sticker for the podcast. We'll see people driving around. Circumdicular. No music cast. Like the ones that say Stevie Nicks.
It's a mix of a circular, like I'm keep moving my hands like it's going to explain it better on an audio podcast. It's like a perpendicular thing happening, but it's like circular graph. It's what my brain came up with. So circumdicular.
Yeah, that'd be a great album name. Maybe that's Styx's new album, Circumdicular.
That could be a good band name, too. Oh. Like, Tim, if we ever form a band, we're going to be called Circumdicular.
I'll put that on my great band name list.
Please do. Well, I was kind of imagining one of those graphs where you got like a circle here that says Styx, and like to the left, and then a circle here that says Rush to the right, and there's like some overlap, and then a circle on top that's like ELO, and there's overlap in both. I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, all right, well... Great for giving people visuals on an audio podcast. What's next?
Okay, so this is a Virginia cover band staple. I played this song 52 million times, and that is the correct amount. I'm not exaggerating. This is CCR and the song Green River.
I mean, I knew that was coming because Tim has talked about, he's played this song so many times. Now, CCR is another band that I feel like is an American phenomenon. I could be wrong, but I feel like it is an American staple.
I think so. And again, not so much of a UK staple.
Not to say that this is the episode that we literally, I don't know why I keep going back to that, why that's the topic, but now that we brought it up, I find it super interesting. Now, I will say, I love everything CCR. I love Green River. I love all music CCR. What I don't like is independent John Fogerty. I just don't.
So the Premonition album isn't something on heavy rotation in your CD player?
I actually have PTSD when put him in, coach. I'm ready to play to comes on my radio. Center field physically makes me angry. After working at Kroger for so many years and on repeat, every hour on the hour, all I had to hear was John Foger going, "Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play." I can't ever hear it again, Tim. I would rather I would rather hear Journey. And we know how I feel about Journey.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know, Tim, if you have a comparable one from when you worked in retail, but it's CCR. Well, it's not CCR. It's John Fogerty center field, and then it's the Who. I can go for miles and miles. I can never hear it again.
When I worked in retail, as I said, I worked in a shop called Superdrug, and it was in the early 90s. And this is before they played proper music in shops. And it played what was
So you
called
have MIDI files.
well, it's called Muzak, they call it. It was like
Yeah.
copyright-free music that went boo-da-ba-ba-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo-doo-doo. And it was, was not anything that you would
Well,
probably want to listen to.
like I said, I would take that over. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. And let me tell you, there's only two other verses to the song, Tim. It's literally you get a verse, put me in, coach, a verse, and then three, four choruses of put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. Maybe there's a third verse in there somewhere, but it's a very short song. And I love CCR. We'll hear every CCR song till I die. I can play, Tim's literally helped me play CCR on my ukulele before. It was one of the first songs I started learning. Do, 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 looking out my back door. Love it. Would kill for that. I would rather John Fogerty going solo, bad for the world. Just not good songs. And I hate to say that because I like him as a person. He does need a better haircut, of course, but I just can't do it, Tim. Sorry, John Fogerty, if you listen to the podcast. Rocking all over the world, I guess, was good.
Well, in the UK, that's known as a status quo song.
That's true, and that was better than his version by far. Never heard of status quo till you status. I say status, okay? Never heard of it till Tim told me about it, but theirs was better.
Yeah, status quo UK legends, in fact.
Ugh. Anyway, sorry, John Fogerty. Go back to CCR. That's where you were meant to be. Also, you have to be making bank off of all those royalties for every CCR song played in every war movie since the beginning of time.
Oh, exactly. I mean, you can retire an fortunate son, I'm sure.
You don't need to keep putting out music. No one wants to hear. I mean, was he a baseball player? Like, I don't even understand why he wrote the song. Was he into baseball? Never heard it before.
I honestly have no idea.
And it's such a niche song. Like, how many times have you really heard that song, Tim? I don't understand why Kroger played it on repeat. Don't, it's like such a niche thing. But like I said, the only one that tops that is I can go for miles and miles and miles. And who from the Who wrote that song? Because they should be personally sued.
It would be Mr. Peter Blandford Townsend.
Well, Mr. Townsend, you should be sued for that one. I don't know how many drugs you did before you wrote that one, but it's terrible. And don't say they weren't doing drugs, Tim. Don't lie to me. All right. What's the next Green song?
Okay, so Green songs, Green Day, and the song Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
I mean, so Green Day is one Joy obviously grew up on. Molly talked about it ad nauseum. It's her favorite band of all time. Boulevard of Broken Dreams is one of those ones that I feel like everybody knows. Have you ever played any Green Day songs, Tim?
I've played American Idiot, and I've also played Wake Me Up When September Ends. And
Interesting.
also that one, Time of Your Life, I played that before as well.
Oh, yeah. Time of Your Life, I could never hear again. I'd be perfectly fine. I'm just going to say it for what it is. For those who don't know, I don't know if this is true universally, but in America, that song was overkilled. And every graduation, every event, anytime you had to get together, you got Time of Your Life from Green Day, and then you got Vitamin C's The Graduation Song, which Tim didn't even know existed until I told him about this once on a podcast.
No.
Would not know who Vitamin C was if it's liked it. Now, Boulevard, I mean, it does have probably the most I walk this lonely road, the only. It has the most, probably most iconic opening kind of riff for me in that genre, in that time. And they're one of those bands that I will go see over and over and over. I've seen them live before, and I would pay good money to see them live again because they put on such a good concert.
Mm-hmm.
And they sound fantastic. Honestly, they sound better now than they did historically when I was seeing the first time, because they were a lot on drugs back then and they're very sober now. And that's just the truth. They're open about it.
Also, they travel with a keyboard player and a second guitarist now, so it fills it out a little bit.
That's true too. But they historically had some pretty bad concerts in the early 2000s, and they sound so much better now. They're so much more well put together. If you haven't seen them, I would highly suggest, even Tim, I think you would enjoy a Green Day concert. They're talented people.
Yeah, I mean, they're at the point where they're probably playing a large arena, and
I don't know if you'd spend the money on that, but
probably not. No, not when you got people like Boy George around.
well, if they come around and it's cheap, I'll let you know, because I do think you would enjoy them. And if you are into Green Day, I would definitely say go see them for sure, because they put on a really good concert. Boulevard of Broken Dreams, though, is one of those songs that was everywhere for like most of my high school career.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's on the American Idiot album, which I find now is one of my favorite albums from them for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Dookie is the classic Green Day album, of course.
But I feel like it's overdone because, like, Jesus of Suburbia and, like, Holiday was great. American Idiot is obviously a great song. Wake Me Up When September Ends. Dookie was their number one. I think everybody who's ever known Green Day would know. But I really do think American Idiot is my favorite. Now, if you wanted someone to give you every fact you've ever known, every song that's ever lived, everything they've ever done, breathed, eat, sings, Molly would be your girl. Green Day ranks up there for her. I actually think she does. They were her first love, so she puts them above Taylor Swift for perspective.
There we are. I mean, that's high praise. It really is.
It is. It is. With that being said, great song choice, and of course, you couldn't do a Green Day episode without putting Green Day in there.
Of course.
All right. What's next, Tim? What we got?
So we've mentioned this gentleman before. His name is Green Garside. That's his name. So that's the Green connection. This is 80s band Scritti Politti and the song The Word Girl. Are you familiar with that?
Only because you've told me about it before, but I don't know that I've ever seeked it out. And I'm going to be honest with you, it doesn't sound real. It sounds like you made up all those words.
What,
not
Green
sure I'm fully
Garside,
convinced.
Scritti Politti.
Yeah, I'm not surely convinced that's a real thing. What is it I say? Every street you tell me in the UK sounds like a candy.
Yeah, you remember we went through the map around by Mr. Bumbles in Blackwater, and I read out all those place names, and you were like, this stuff isn't real.
It sounds like a lollipop. I'm convinced that like if there's like a whole phenomenon of and Tim would not know this because he is not as in depth in the internet, even though the funny part is Tim is an IT person, but he is not as in depth in the weird obscure sides of the internet that Joy is when it comes to things like the TikTok and stuff like that. And there's like a whole thing where like British people say words and people are like, that's not real. It's not real. That's not like in America we don't like our roads are named Smith. And then you'll talk to somebody from the UK and they'll be like, Hinklebobble. And you're like, what? What? That can't be real. You guys did not come up with that on your own. Now, we have some really dumb names. Like, there's Fries, Virginia, and where I live at, and it's spelled French fries, like Fries, like that. But it goes by Fries, and it's from Henry Bonaparte, something French. I don't know. There's a history there. But, yeah, every time I hear stuff, I'm like, that's not real. And I find it really cute that they call crossing guards lollipop people. That's like adorable.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, it was the lollipop lady. I think it's probably the lollipop person now. But yeah, lollipop people.
I mean, it does look like they're holding a lollipop. And then you called the things on the road zebra stripes, which was cute because they do look like zebra stripes.
Well, some of them are zebra crossings and some of them are pelican crossings.
Which is adorable. We don't have names like that. We just have like crosswalk.
Exactly.
Very literal. I saw one person who was like, in America, we call fall because leaves fall from trees. And in UK, we call it autumn. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. We're very literal people. Crosswalk.
There we
Like,
go.
I don't know. But thank you. But yeah, whatever you said, Tim, I'm not convinced is real. I think you're just gaslighting me.
I would only ever tell you exactly the truth, Joy.
I'm kidding. But you could, in fact, start making up stuff and I would never know. But it's just funny because you guys supposedly made up the English language, but I'm not convinced.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
didn't
convinced.
personally make the English language. I was just born into a country that had it.
Okay, the people of England claim that they speak proper English. And I've heard you say it before. What was it? The other day I was listening to this story about this girl who got robbed at like midnight and they held her at knife point. And that was the first indicator it wasn't in America, because in America you're held at gunpoint. But then she said that they literally ran into her and she was holding onto the boot of her car. And I was like, yeah, not in America. Said boot of her car. The knife point and the boot, Tim gave it away.
There we go.
If you didn't get the joke. Okay, that was a quality joke though, the knife versus the gun, Tim. Yeah, all right. Anyway, what's the next song?
Okay, so another Green song. Let's try and get this back on track, Joy.
We've taken a turn on this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
So this is from the album Green. This is REM, and this is the song Stand.
Stand in. What's the green reference?
The album is called Green.
Oh, I don't think I knew that. I love this song. Stand in the place where you
Yeah.
live now. And I have a very distinct, I told Tim I spent 30 years of my life trying to find this song. And then one day I found it again. And I thought I was going crazy because in the Clueless movie, she uses this song when they're cleaning up the beach or something. I don't remember what it was. And I was like, there's this song and they're talking about standing where you live. It took me forever to find. And it was this.
There we are. And you could have just Shazammed it.
Well, it was weird because I didn't remember enough of it in the moment to be able to do that. I Googled it and Googled it and Googled it. For some reason, when I would make the Cruelest reference, the internet was not, they would not, I don't know. It took me forever to find this again. Anyway, moral stories. And what's interesting about REM is they have such distinct songs that are very much like the most poppy, amazing stand and the most negative, dark music you've ever heard. I'm not wrong, am I, Tim? Though, like, it's weird to think they're the same band sometimes.
Yeah, they cover some very deep topics in their music, but yeah, a lot of it is very kind of poppy, happy-go-lucky.
And I prefer the poppy, happy-go-lucky, which would probably make the lead singer scream because isn't he like oh, what is his name? Isn't he kind of
Michael Stipe.
Isn't he very like about it or something? I don't remember.
I get the sense, I don't know this for a fact. I get the sense they're utterly full of themselves.
Yeah, they're giving like what are the two Oasis kind of vibes or something along those lines.
Well, I mean, they're significantly more intelligent than the Gallagher brothers, in my opinion.
Yeah, but something about them gives some of the same vibes, though.
Yeah, this kind of sort of vibe of self-importance.
Or it could be like, yeah, it's almost like yeah, because like we've talked about, he won't play Shiny Happy People anymore, which is a song I love. I love Stan. I mean, they do have Losing My Religion, Everybody Hurts. But what's weird about that is like, I find it very interesting. And what I like about them is they have such a vast difference in their music and different tones, and it makes it fun. Like, it doesn't mean that I have to listen to them all for the same thing. But yeah, I've gotten the perception that they're, full of themselves. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Much like our friend Elvis Costello.
Or more.
Oh, Morrissey, there we are. Another no-name musical staple, as covered in our previous episode.
At this point, if someone took a drink every time we said Morrissey on this podcast, because we find him to be such a weird anomaly. And it wouldn't be so bad, Tim, if we didn't consistently have to give news where he owned up to every perception we have of him. Like, It's like he literally wakes up and says, let me make sure you guys think exactly what you think of me is true. Am I wrong?
No, 100% correct.
Like, he doesn't even try to fight the stereotype. He leans into it at this point. Like, when you're like, he got to a hotel and there was too many people having fun outside, so he couldn't go to, what was it, the 90th concert he's canceled. All right. So anyway, I love that song though. It's one of my favorites actually, Tim. And it's probably been used in 37 90s movies since the beginning of time.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, what's next?
Okay, I'm going to close the episode out with this one.
Wow, we barely talked about any music. Maybe I talked a lot about everything else.
Joy, that is part of the appeal.
All right, what's next, Tim?
All right, so this last song for this episode. This has a green album cover.
Okay.
And this is from the album Dr. Feelgood. The band is Motley Crue, and the song is Dr. Feelgood. And I said it has a green album cover.
Well, to be fair, that is my absolute favorite Motley Crue song. I don't know if I've ever said that on this podcast. Dr. Feelgood is one of those ones that, I mean, I get, oh God, I almost said it makes you feel good, but then I felt bad about that statement. I don't want to say it out loud now. Yeah,
I like Kickstart My Heart's good. Girls, Girls, Girls is good. And Dr. Feelgood's good too.
I just like the literally the Dr. Feelgood. He's the one on call. He's the one making you feel all right. Like, I like those rhythms. I actually think this is, if I had to put my favorite Motley Crue song out there, it would actually be Dr. Feelgood, Tim. Well, as weird as that sounds.
The top 5 songs on the Spotify are Kickstart My Heart, Girls, 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 Home Sweet Home, Dr. Feelgood, and Wild Side. I
have to be honest with you. I could never hear Home Sweet Home again, and I'd probably be all right.
Mm-hmm.
I would. Girls, 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 wonderful. Looks That Kill is good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Good one. But I do think Dr. Feelgood is my number one Motley Crue song. So we ended on a good note. It's probably my favorite, actually. With that being said, if you listen to this podcast mid all the way to the end, I don't think I talked about any of the songs the entire episode, but I probably made you laugh. I made Tim laugh a minute ago when I said he lived up to every perception we've ever put out there. Like, I feel like we could write in a book, Morrissey does this, and in 3 months we'll find out it's true.
Oh, 100%.
All right. Well, with that, what would you like to leave the people with, Tim?
Just be kind to everybody that you meet.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
To remind me of another day to